In this video, I'll be providing a brief overview of the mWater platform, an introduction to its business model, and a short tutorial on how to use that platform. While I'll be using the name mWater, it's important to note that the business has grown to include two sister brands, Solstice and Juno, which expand the same product across sectors to health and environmental work respectively. They function on the same technology and business model, so everything in this video will be equally applicable if those are the brands you engage with instead. mWater is a digital public good, a software platform, and a team of experts that provide support for mapping and managing digital infrastructure for different types of sites. The platform includes tools for analyzing and expressing this information so that users can not only better understand their work, but also better communicate it to others. This foundation for collaborative, data driven management at no cost to the user is what makes mWater a unique and powerful tool to support public services and improve quality of life. While mWater was originally used mostly for water points, the platform has increasingly grown to be used to monitor health and emergencies, agriculture, and ecological data. We have just under 350,000 users, as you can see from the website, in 198 countries and territories who submit over 40,000 images per day, updating the status of their digital infrastructure. Over 99% of users are free users, using the platform for their work as you would use a service like Google Docs. However, we also have paid users who represent the lifeblood of the business model that keeps it free for the rest of the world. This business model for digital public goods, similar to sites like Wikipedia, makes sure that the service can exist at no cost to the average user. A combination of philanthropic investment and paid clients, generally large organizations working in international aid, make this business model possible. These clients approach mWater with the goal of building on its open access data framework and pay for features or custom builds for their organization. As you can see in this example build for a county in Kenya, the build makes it possible for the local WASCO to manage their assets with mWater and choose what they want to most directly communicate, while also carrying the official government website appearance. These features, once built, become available for all users and improve the platform. Over time, mWater has grown to offer mobile data collection both online and off, cloud-hosted databases with unlimited storage, and real-time analysis tools like dashboards and maps, all of which uses industry-standard practices for making sure your data stays private to the user, while also making it easy to share with others if you choose. This process has helped mWater to continue to grow its user base, its bank of sites and indicators, and the availability of tools for managing data, which in turn attracts both more users and investors as it builds a more robust platform, and so the cycle repeats. Now we'll move on to an overview of the mWater app and how to use it. Before getting into using the app, I want to highlight the Report a Problem feature. We highly encourage our users to make use of this feature, and we take these reports seriously because they help us to improve user experiences and the platform as a whole. Each report gets sent to the entire team here at mWater, and because of that, we have a global average response time of less than 4 hours to any country or time zone. Very frequently, you'll see a response within an hour of submitting your ticket. This response will come via email, so it's very important that users sign up for their account with an email that they check and use. You can access the app either on your mobile device or online at surveyor.mwater.co. In order to do so, you'll need to make an account or log into an existing profile. After logging in, you'll see 3 status tiles. These reflect that your data and images have been synced to the cloud and that any changes to portal data, such as new surveys developed or new sites mapped, have been synced to your device. One of the rules we ask people to follow while using the app is to make sure they get 3 green tiles, meaning that all of their data has synced up between the cloud and their device twice a day while in the field. While the app can withstand long-term non-syncing, any data collected on a device that has not been synced will be gone if that device is damaged or stolen. The job of the app is primarily to map physical infrastructure and then monitor that infrastructure over time through surveys. The infrastructure people are primarily mapping fall under sites and assets. So let's first explore those sites and assets. While viewing the map in mWater, we can add a site using the button in the top left corner. As you can see, A number of options are available for your selection. While creating a site, you have the option of making it private or not visible to others, protected or visible to others but not editable, or public, being visible and editable by other users. The second option, protected, is the most common given it protects the details of a site a user creates but allows others to view the sites and run their own surveys on it. Having created a site, mWater offers users the opportunity to update these sites' information or record new data for the sites over time. This feature is a key differentiation factor separating mWater from other tools such as Google Forms or ODK. This makes it possible to do management or longitudinal monitoring with sites at the heart of the app. Now, if we switch gears to assets, these fall under physical management of infrastructure. Similar to sites, these can be created and monitored over time. One important feature we'd like to highlight here, though, is mWater's asset standard, which can be found in our resource center under asset management. And then if you scroll down to the water system management standard. This is a document that explains how best to define and monitor your assets. Essentially, it's a guide on how to call the same things as you handle infrastructure with your collaborators. Next, let's briefly explore surveys. If we go to Home and then to Surveys, while in the app, users can edit or fill out surveys as they please, but to fully understand this feature, we'll have to take a look at the mWater portal online. Now that we have an understanding of features in the mWater app, we're going to hop back to the mWater portal. On the home page, we have a spinning globe that represents the past 24 hours of mWater user activity through these white dots you see popping up on the map. We are incredibly proud of our users all over the globe. You can see from the tracker below the globe that our more than 300,000 users have submitted almost 40 million surveys to date, which is a lot of data and a whole lot of hard work. The next and most important thing we need to look at on the portal is the Resource Center, which is where users go to get started using the service. All of our manuals and tutorials are here and accessible, and they often contain video guides to accompany the manual to help better understand the platform. These video guides can also be found in mWater's video library on the mWater YouTube account. Any question you have about how to use the platform, from creating an account to creating a dashboard, can be found in this section. Moving on to actually using the portal, first of all, your login for the Surveyor app works just as well for the portal. The portal offers many of the same features you're used to in other data management platforms like, say, data grids like in Excel, or GIS tools and layers like those in ArcGIS. You can export to EPANET or visualize data similarly to Power BI. We offer customer management and accounting similar to what you might be used to in QuickBooks. And finally, we have project management features like you might be used to from Salesforce. So mWater offers all of these features, but at the same time, one of our highest priorities is keeping the app lean so that it works on everyone's devices all over the world. The app uses less memory than Facebook Lite, for example, and it's something that we're very proud of. So now let's jump into some of those features. The portal is about digital infrastructure management, primarily through sites and asset systems, like we've already discussed. Both sites and assets can be found under the Sites drop-down menu in the top left corner. While sites are a feature as old as mWater itself and are the basis for conducting longitudinal research on the platform, assets are a more recent introduction for managing water systems, allowing you to monitor infrastructure like pipes and pumps over time. As you can see while we click through it, we can view photos associated with assets and other information about those assets here. So let's connect the portal and the Surveyor app now. If we go to the Surveys tab, we can use existing surveys or create new ones here. When we choose to create a new survey, as you can see, there are some very similar tools here, or familiar tools for building questions and options. You can use these building blocks to create a survey. And you can perfectly tailor that survey to your needs. However, we found that many people struggle to decide what to track in order to answer their research questions. In response, mWater created one of its key features, a digital public good we call our indicator library. Here we've asked organizations with a lot of resources and know-how like UNICEF or the WHO in different fields to donate their survey templates or their lists of indicators or their definitions of related terms in order to make it easier for everybody else to create their own surveys. So let's look at, for instance, a very common indicator like hand washing. You can see that we can then use this indicator along with all of its information associated that is used to help the user, and we can use this indicator in our own survey. Another interesting feature associated is the comment section at the bottom of the indicator that allows people to contribute their expertise as they use and learn about them. This feature makes it easy for anyone to begin collecting and analyzing data, especially in a collaborative format, measuring the same thing in the same way. Going back to the Surveys tab, if we delve into an existing survey, then we can see up top there are some tabs that should be very familiar, allowing you to do things like preview your survey before sending it out, or to deploy it and start receiving responses. Or if we go over here to responses, then we can clean and edit our data. Here we can reject surveys back to users, import responses, or head to visualization so that we can look through some basic statistical expressions of the data collected so far. You can also choose to filter your data by specific dates or deployments and then export that data specifically. All of these features help users to better understand their data without building out an entire dashboard. Speaking of which, if we go over to the Visualizations tab, not of this survey, but for the mWater portal as a whole in the top left, we can look at some of the options available for expressing data on the platform. You may already be familiar with dashboards, which allow you to bring together different maps and tables and ways of understanding your data, but we also have consoles. These let you bring together different dashboards, maps, and data grids across multiple tabs in the console for an even higher level of analysis. So let's use the example of this Haiti country overview to show how useful these consoles can be. We start on this first tab with some charts and other summaries of the data being collected in real time. But if we wanted to go even deeper, we can then click over to this tab with GIS data showing different measures of water access layered on top of each other. And then we can go even more granular by looking at this data grid, which is a great way to clean, filter, or download your data. So now that we've gone through how to record and express your data, let's go through some of the other management tools that mWater has to offer, starting with organizations. Under our Organization tab, you can create and edit an org structure to connect the people you're working with and give them different levels of access to use and edit your materials. So if we go into this demo organization, we can see that organizations are further broken down into teams and collaborators, and they have access to survey deployments and a cache of shared documents. Back to the Manage Overview tab for a second. I'd like to briefly touch on a couple of the options here. First, we have the Issues section. Here you can flag and monitor issues as they come up for you and your collaborators, such as an outage or drought. I am also pleased to highlight one of our newest features, the Planning tool, which allows you to simulate conditions for running utilities. For instance, you could see how a change in population or pricing could affect how you run your infrastructure. And finally, we also have calculated data sources, which is wonderful, especially if you're working on shoddy internet and find it difficult to run calculations in the afternoon hours. Instead, you can set it to run those calculations once a day or overnight. This is also useful for complicated queries that might take time or time out in a dashboard. This feature would allow you to reference the calculated data source instead and have that ready so it doesn't break your dashboard. While there's a lot more that the mWater platform has to offer, this is where we're going to leave it for today. If you have any further questions, please, as I stated, use our resource center available in the top right-hand corner of the mWater portal, or use that report a problem feature in order to access our team directly. We hope that you have a wonderful time using the mWater platform, and thank you for watching this video. Have a wonderful day.